The precedent that Scientology is setting with their aggressive speech suppression tactics has already destabilized how we are interpreting the American Constitution. The church's seemingly inexhaustible bank accounts, when coupled with their ruthless fair game policy, has bought off, intimidated, and silenced all critical opposition to the church and has forced the enforcers and regulators to turn a blind eye. In that bygone era before the internet, their cutthroat tactics reigned supreme and netted significant income for the institution of Scientology. They hired lawyers to exploit gray area technicalities and copyright infringements, and trained members of their own organization to infiltrate the government. Their religious disciplining has resulted in the deaths of hundreds, and their small doses of enlightenment for cash scheme that smacks of the indulgences of the 1500s has driven tens of thousands into bankruptcy. Over the decades, they have seduced populations across the world into their paranoid ideology under the guise of altruism, curing the drug addicted and the mentally broken. They have bullied alt-religion Scientology, used federal government resources across the world to raid individual properties, utilized blackmail and terrorist threats against people who have criticized them, used frivolous lawsuits against Scientology satires, and vandalized Wikipedia entries that criticize the organization. And folks, I'm telling you, Scooby-Doo and the gang leave no rock unturned. They have reflexively issued cease and desists against AT&T, Google, YouTube, investors, pay attention to this, and countless other information sources for anything defamatory to the church's interests. They play victim in the courtroom under vague interpretations of the law to protect their spiritual property, while viciously unleashing their attack dogs, the Office of Special Affairs, against all who resist, both tactics which, by the way, happen to trump freedom of speech. Scientology's Office of Special Affairs is a facility designed to churn out armchair generals to aid Scientology in their rights-crushing crusade. These zealots are required to read The Art of War by Sun Tzu and On War by Clausewitz, and are taught to apply the lessons within each book on the general public with a paranoid eye. Consider this sample question and draw your own conclusions. You are interviewing a community leader. He tells you that his neighbor, who is a psychiatrist, is spreading the rumor that Scientology is in trouble with the local health authorities. How do you dead agent this rumor? To dead agent is a method of ignoring all criticism leveled against you and instead making counter accusations. The act of dead agenting applies everywhere. Conversations with individuals, press releases, against the masses on the internet, against companies who depend upon the tenets of free speech, and even in the highest levels of political and national intrigue. Such Machiavellian activities will most definitely cause their expulsion in Germany, Greece, and Italy. Scientology continues to issue the same answer to those who seek an open forum with the organization, to ask honest questions about their practices and integrity. And that answer is to silence yourself, or we will hunt you down. This sets an incredibly dangerous precedent for all other religions to follow if they are emboldened by Scientology's methods. This will make a dystopian nightmare on the platform of free speech that the internet is so completely dependent upon. We may not be able to convince communist states to trust their citizenry on the internet. We may not be able to show the theologically addled societies of the old world the wonders of free information. But here, in our very own borders that we can control and regulate, we can most definitely stomp out that one last vestige of religious tyranny that only knows growth and expansion at any cost.